Jaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya. Okay, so reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj. Chapter 11, verse 38 and 39 we'll go through today. So I will read 38 by myself, and then we can take 39 together. Shri Sadashiva Kaviraj Bada Mahashaya Shri Purushottam Das Tanhara Tanaya. The 23rd and 24th prominent devotees of Nityananda Prabhu were Sadashiva Kaviraj and his son Purushottam Das, who was the 10th Gopal. Okay, and we'll take 39 together. Ajanma Nibagna Nityanandir Charani. How would you read this in Bengal?
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandir Charane Nirantara Adi-Lila Hare Krishna Shane
Nirantara Adi-Lila Hare Krishna Sane.
Okay. Ajanmani Bhagna Nityanandera Charane
Ajanmani Nityanandera Charane
Nirantara Balya Lila Hare Krishna Sane
Nirantara Adi-Lila Hare Krishna Sane.
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Ajanmani Nityanandera Charane
Nirantara Balya Lila Hare Krishna Sane
Nirantara Krishna Lila
Shane
Hare Krishna Nane Sane. Okay.
Yes, please chant.
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Nirantara Adi-Lila Hare Krishna Sane.
Nirantara Balya Lila Hare Krishna Sane
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Nirantara Bharya Lila Hare Krishna Sane
Nirantara Balya Lila
Hare Krishna Sane.
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandira Charane
Ajanmani Magna Nityanandera Charane
Nirantara Adi-Lila Hare Krishna Shane
Nirantara Balya Lila Hare Krishna Sane Ajanma
Ajanma
since birth
Since birth
Nimagna
Nimagna
merged
merged
Nityanandera
Nityanandera
of Lord Nityananda Prabhu
of
Lord Nityananda Prabhu
Charane
Charane
in the lotus feet
in the lotus feet
Nirantara
Nirantara
always
always
Balya Lila
Bharya Lila
childish play
childish play
Kare
Kare
thus
does
Krishna Sane
Krishna Sane
with Krishna.
with Krishna.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Since birth, Purushottama Das was merged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Lord Krishna. Purport. Sadashiva Kaviraj and Nagara Purushottama, who were father and son, are described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat as Maha Bhagyavan, greatly fortunate. They belong to the Vaidya caste of physicians. The Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, verse 156, says that Chandravali, a most beloved gopi of Krishna, later took birth as Sadashiva Kaviraj. It is said that Kamsari Sena, the father of Sadashiva Kaviraj, was formerly the gopi named Ratnavali in Krishna's pastimes. All the family members of Sadashiva Kaviraj were great devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purushottama Das Thakur sometimes lived at Sukha Sagar, near the Chakadaha and Shimurali railway stations. All the deities installed by Purushottama Thakur were formerly situated in Beledanga Gram, but when the temple was destroyed, the deities were brought to Sukha Sagara. When that temple merged in the bed of the Ganges, the deities were brought with Janava Mata's deity to Sahebadanga Bedigram. Since that place also has been destroyed, All the deities are now situated in the village named Chandudegran, which is situated 1 mile up from Palapada as referred to above. Om Ganati Mirandasya Gananjala Shalakya Shakshurum Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pamalam Yati Gurum Yatripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Yanatalinam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tappadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagadatam Sahaganam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Prarijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganam Shri Vishakapatam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasita Vishpane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Ajanmani Magna Nityanande Racharane Nirantara Balya Lila Hare Krishna Sane. Since birth, Purushottama Das was merged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he always engaged in childish play with Lord Krishna. So here we continue the list of the wonderful devotees of Lord Nityananda, which is a huge branch of the Lord Chaitanya tree. Lord Nityananda Prabhu's amazing preaching work is listed down in this chapter dedicated to him. And we see that the devotees which he inspires are, in fact, gopis of Krishna's pastimes. As we know, when Lord Krishna descends, he takes his whole entourage with him, because the Lord is incomplete without his devotees. In some traditions, in some other religious traditions, they say that this is making God dependent on others, which is diminishing his godliness or position as God. But in our concept of God, this is not true. This is not diminishing him, this is glorifying him. Because God is nothing without his subjects, just as a king cannot be a king without any subjects. If you remove the subjects from a king, then the word king has no meaning, because king means one above all the others. So if there's nobody else, then he cannot be above anyone. So he cannot be king. Just as you cannot repair something if something is not broken. You cannot wake someone up if he's not asleep. So, he cannot be king if there are no subjects. He cannot be God if there are no subjects either. So, we don't agree with this. He is God and he takes his entourage with him, because when he's interacting with his devotees, then God's true beauty comes forth. God is not beautiful because he can create. We can also create, but he's beautiful because he has those divine qualities. That's why he's beautiful. So, that said, what is so amazing with this is that we see God's true mercy come forth when he's coming down like this. If we look at the scriptures of our previous acharyas, how they are explaining how Krishna is manifest in the spiritual world here in the material world. As I probably said in the previous classes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in his Darshana Tattva how Krishna's Parashakti, Sandini, Samvit and Hladini, when they manifest here in the material world, they manifest in a perverted form. Perverted means that it is twisted. It is not manifesting as it should. You can say, as an example, like water, when it turns into ice, it's not the water's true form. It is perverted. It is changed. So it is freezing cold instead. So water is naturally beautiful if it's flowing through a clean river. If you don't throw bicycles and cigarettes and what other dirty things in the river, the water is very clean, very beautiful to look at, and it's very calming. So water is naturally very nice, but when it can be distorted. So dirty water is very distorted, and ice, when water turns into ice, is very unnatural. So the different Shaktis, the Parashaktis, becomes distorted when it enters into Maya Shakti. But what the Lord is doing here is that He is taking the Parashakti in its pure form down into the Maya Shakti. So when He manifests, He takes the spiritual world with Him. The Sandini Shakti, which is manifesting the transcendental homes, the transcendental form of the paraphernalias inside the Vaikuntha planets, is a manifesting in the material world. Dvaraka, for example, Krishna brings his own the spiritual world into here. It's non-different. And the Samvit Shakti, the knowledge of the different bhavs, are also fully manifest when he is here. We see in Vrindavan. Everyone knows their relationships and their identities with the Lord. The parental rasa, the friendship rasa, the servant rasa, madhurya rasa, everything is manifest. Everyone feels their relationship. And Ladini Shakti, the rasa, the ecstatic exchanges which they have with the Lord, they also experience fully. So this is what is happening when the Lord is manifesting in the spiritual world. This cannot happen if He's not here personally. Of course, when we worship the Lord properly, then we can also experience the Parashakti in its pure form. But then we have also received the mercy of the Lord, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining, that the jiva, he says, it's not, the jiva is very small, it's very weak. It's not insignificant, but he's very, very inadequate. Inadequate means that he is just very weak and very, very small. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that even if you are in the Vaikuntha planets, even if you are in the spiritual world, if you have not received the mercy of Krishna, you will not experience the true bliss, the true ecstasy which the Ladini Shakti is giving you. That Shakti can only manifest by His mercy, not by your own endeavors, even if you are in the Vaikuntha planets. So therefore, everything that we have must be provided for us, and we must remember that whether it is spiritual strength, whether it is knowledge, jnana, everything is coming from Him and everything is provided by Him. Just like Krishna says in the beginning of chapter 10, knowledge, fear, fearlessness, all those different qualities. I don't remember all of them. But he's saying that all these qualities are coming from me. So there we see that these qualities which he is describing, he manifests them in us, and they are given to us by him. Qualities coming from the So all these qualities which is manifest by the Sandini Shakti is manifested by him. So we are so weak and so small. So it's quite astonishing how the devotees, especially devotees, how they can be proud of anything they do or any qualities which they have. Because they have these qualities because of the Lord, because of His mercy. So it is quite on the Vaishnava to be proud and puffed up and think that he is something. Those who are not devoted to Krishna, we're not so surprised because they don't know anything. They don't know who they are, what they're supposed to do, what their false ego is and what their real ego is. So they are in ignorance, but the devotees are supposed to be in knowledge. They are supposed to know what is going on, but they are. It takes some time. Purification takes some time. So it's not happening overnight. This transformation. It's a Krishna consciousness. It's a gradual process. It happens through years, even lifetimes, to get to Krishna. So, with this understanding, we should never consider us the doers of anything. And we must understand we must see how incredibly dependent we are on anything. As Bhakti says, inadequate. We are weak, and inadequate means not really qualified for the purpose at hand. That is the meaning of inadequate. We're unqualified for anything we're supposed to do. So therefore, Vaishnavas, they pray all the time to the Lord for the needs, for the qualities. Of course, Prabhupada has said that even a pure devotee doesn't ask for anything. But it's nothing wrong to pray for anything. To pray for pure devotional service is bona fide. That's called lalyam in nectar of devotion. Lalyam is a word for greediness. And if we can be greedy for something, it's for mercy and devotional service. So that's bona fide, because we're not asking for anything mundane. But you can also ask for those qualities that helps us in devotional service: enthusiasm, humility, patience. Patience is needed, since this is a gradual process. We need patience, because the changes which we want is not happening overnight. Especially those really ingrained bad habits. Sometimes you just have to work a little harder when someone has burned something in the pot. Have you ever tried to clean a pot when halva is burned in the bottom? Or maybe sweet rice? No, not sweet rice. Yeah, sweet rice also, but milk powder. That's the best or worst, depending how you see it. Burned milk powder, it sticks. You have to stand there for quite a long time just to rub that off for a long time. And some of our habits and ideas, we really have to work hard on them, because they are so hardly attached to our subconscious. But that's just the work we have to do. And the more we study the Shastra, the more we stay close to advanced devotees, the more we become convinced that these bad convictions and habits have nothing of value. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this Maya Vritti, these material proclivities or material habits, are very, very trivial. And trivial means of little or no value. little or no value. All material attachments we have, habits, they have no value whatsoever. Nothing. But still we hold on to them. So at some point, by Krishna's mercy, he will reveal these anarchas to us and present them to us in front of here it is, deal with it. You have to deal with this anarcha, or else you will not go anywhere. And for some it may be, oh, I didn't know. Amazing, now I can work on this. For some it's like, this is not an anartha. No, this is not an anartha. It's part of who I am, and it's supposed to stay there, and it's a good quality actually. So I'm keeping this, and I'm gonna go on. And then Lord Krishna has to think of another way to convince you that it's bad by putting you in a very, very painful situation, which forces you to come to the understanding that this is nonsense. You must give it up. And maybe, or maybe not, you will understand then. If not, then he will have to put you in a more difficult situation to help you get to the point. The Lord is so merciful. He never gives up on you if you have started to try to get to him. He will never give up on you, unless you are very, very persistent that you want to give him up. Then yes, he will let you go. But he might come back to you at a later time. Lord Krishna is so merciful. Just one or 2 days ago, for the second day in a row, I forgot to charge my card reader for Sankirtan. Second day in a row. And we live in a cashless society more or less today, so people don't usually give cash, they pay often by card. So if you don't have a card reader, you're doomed, you know. You cannot receive any donations. So for the second day in a row, I was like, oh God, oh, I should be executed here and now. I'm so stupid, and I just condemned myself again and again and again. I'm so stupid. Oh, and Vigatashva, he would just punch me in the face with gloves because of this, and I was just condemning myself again and again and again and again. Like, oh, what am I gonna do? And I met people who were ready to give donations, but they didn't have any cash. They only had on card. So I just had to say, well, next time then. See ya. Hope to see you soon. It was a painful experience, but then all of a sudden, after almost 3 hours, then I stopped two ladies, and they're from Mauritius. And I told them, oh, I was in Mauritius for 9 months, and they were very happy to hear that. Yeah, I was in Port Louis, Rose Hill, and stayed in the center in Rosebell. And then, oh, it was very nice, and they were so happy to see me. So they gladly took a book, and they gave a quite good donations in coins, like that. So there I saw that Lord Chaitanya, he took pity on me. And he saved the situation, and I felt so bad because I had complained so much on myself, and was so afraid of how Vigatashva would react. He was like, oh man, I just had to help him out. He's just so distressed, you know. So I felt bad that Lord Chaitanya had to help me in this situation. You know, so because of my foolishness of not charging the card reader, Lord Chaitanya had to help me out in this way. I felt so bad. But you see, it's also demonstrating how merciful he is. And okay, this foolish guy is just so struggling so much. Okay, I just have to help him out, and he does. So Lord Chaitanya is always behind pulling the strings, helping us out, if we learn to see it. But it's not only on Sankirtan, it's everywhere. Prabhupada's hands, Lord Chaitanya's hands, Nityananda's hands, they're always there helping. But can we see it? Or do we act on the false ego? We become proud when we get rectified, when we have not understood something? Do we think that we are correct on time, or do we see the mercy of Prabhupada coming forth? That depends on us. But if we learn to see everything according to Shastra, and we learn to see how the Lord is working, you will never stop thinking about Him. Your faith is increased in this way. As Tanu Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he once said that the Lord is arranging these difficulties to help us strengthen our faith in Him. Because, yes, even though this path is very scientific, it is based on faith also. Ashadadhana Purusha, Krishna is saying in verse 3 of Bhagavad Gita, that those who have no faith, they cannot reach me. Because with faith, we take chances. With the faith, we can see Him everywhere in the material nature. We not only see it theoretically, but we see it through realization. And when we see it through realization, we start to climb. We start to stop becoming Kanishta and start becoming Madhyamas on the Madhya Adi-Lila level. See, and we, as Rupa Goswami, or it was Rupa Goswami or Sanatana Goswami, they said we must get up from the Kanishta stage as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. We must get out of that position, because Kanishta Adi-Lila level is very dangerous. The faith is weak, and the knowledge is very weak also. So we must do something about that. So study of Prabhupada's books, but also go out on Sankirtan. I'm saying go out on Sankirtan because that is the quickest process. It's a very quick and efficient process if you want to establish faith and understanding of Krishna consciousness. Then Sankirtan is a very, very quick and safe path. Why? Because you are so vulnerable, so small and insignificant out there, that the false ego is forced to take some punches. It is. Yes, Manita is smiling.
Are we ready?
Huh?
Are we ready?
Exactly, are we ready? It's a very good question. Hare Krishna. What is the prêt? Nous sommes prêts? Non.
Êtes-vous prêts?
Sorry. Cut that from the recording. Yes. That's better. Yes, are we ready? As Prabhupada once asked, are you ready to die for Krishna? It's a good question. Because are we? Because if you are, then you are really surrendered. So any chance you get, whether it is for an hour or 2 hours, if you can get a chance to join the devotees, to go out on Sankirtan, take it. Doesn't matter if you are a novice or if you are experienced, advanced, it doesn't matter. Take a chance, go out on Sankirtan with the devotees and experience how it is. Excuse me? We're having class. Could you, if you want to talk, can you please do it outside? So, yes. So, the Supreme Lord is taking the spiritual kingdom down from his spiritual world, down to the material world, to attract the living entities, which he's doing properly because his Parashakti is manifesting here fully, without any material hindrance. And just as Purushottama Das and Sadashiva Kaviraj Prabhupada says they're greatly fortunate. Those who understand this great science of Krishna, they're also very, very greatly fortunate. You can explain everything to someone, and he may still may not understand. Even devotees within the Krishna conscious movement, you try to explain to them that they're not their bodies. Still, they are stubborn in not giving up this consciousness, giving up this concept. They still want to believe that they are their mind, their negative thinking, their negative emotions, their negative ideas, their negative convictions. They still want to believe that they are these things. Even though they have been in this movement for 10 years plus, they still believe in these things. So it's not easy. It is not. But it's possible. Yesterday I met a French gentleman, and I think that if he just reads some books and start chanting, he should give Bhagavatam class immediately. He must have been between 70 and 80 years old. And I met him in Osman. And he wanted to look at the books. He could speak a little English. And then he took a small book called On the Way to Krishna. It's a beautiful picture of Krishna on the front, where he's standing there with a flute, and he's surrounded by beautiful animals and trees, and everything's glittering. And he said, excuse me if I'm pronouncing the French wrong, he said, il est beau. Il est beau. Yeah. Krishna, il est beau. And I know that he said, he's beautiful. And I was astonished. But he had made some of his own research. He knew some of the spiritual people of India. He knew some of them, so he was not so unfamiliar with Krishna. But then he said that this world is a prison. He said, yes, absolutely, yeah, it is. and then he started to speak about people from India and different sadhus, and then he said, how much does it cost? And he said, yeah, it doesn't. There's no price. You can give anything. And I said, he don't have any cash. He said he wanted to go to the bank. And I know that from experience that many people are saying this. Yes, I don't have money. I need to go to the bank. He said, okay, yeah, there's no problem. So I just let him do that. He said, will you be here? I said, no, I usually go from here to there. Oh, okay. Then maybe if you're here, then please, I want to get books from you. I said, no problem. I said, can you please be here when I come back? Yeah, okay, I'll wait for you. I said, okay. He's very persistent. Okay, I'll stay here. I'll stay here and wait for him. Okay. And he came back. He did. He didn't walk very fast, but he did come back. But before he left, he looked me in the eye, and then he said, Krishna is the only God. I said, yeah. And not anyone else. And then he turned around and left. He was so sincere. He just looked me in the eye and pointed at me. Not anyone else. And then he left. I'm like, wow.
He was preaching to you.
He felt like that. But it's like, I felt so inspired when he said that. Like, well, yeah, he is. And then he came back. To my surprise, he came back. He gave a very nice donation. And then I gave him the book. He pointed at this, I want this book. He wanted On the Way to Krishna. Even though he's not a completely English-speaking person, he wanted that book. And I gave it to him, and he looked at it. My Christmas present for myself. And he was so happy, and he folded his hands like this, and he paid his obeisance like this. And then we separated. It was an amazing experience. I thought that he is more convinced than I am. He could just look at a picture of Krishna, and he was so happy, you know. While we in the temple, we see Krishna every day on the altar. 3 sets of beautiful deities. Every day, new dress, new flower garlands, new class every day. We have Prabhupada here. We have prasadam every day. But still, we're like half awake on Mangalarti, you know. It's the same songs, same prayers, same deities, same devotees, same class, same prasadam. When can I space out on YouTube? Like that. Amazing, isn't it? While this man, who has nothing of it, he's just looking at a picture and he's just in bliss. Yeah. That's how Maya works. That's why we are that's why the person said, as I said, this world is a prison. He said, yeah. And in this prison we forget how greatly fortunate we are. Purushottam Das and Sadashiva Kaviraj, which are mentioning in these shlokas, they are greatly fortunate. But we are also greatly fortunate, very fortunate, because we understand, we appreciate, and that's why we are here. But because we are infected by Mayavadi philosophy, we put everything on the same level as the material energy. We don't see the Lord in the holy name. We don't see the Lord in the deity. We don't see the Lord in the devotees. We equate the spiritual and the material with each other. Tapas Prabhu, one of the pioneers of the ISKCON Yatra in Norway, he explained it like this, that this is how the Mayavad philosophy, even though we don't know anything about it, this is how Mayavad philosophy is affecting us, even though we don't know why or how. But we put the Lord's transcendental, we put the Lord's Parashakti on an equal level with the Maya Shakti. It's nothing special. It's not significant. Even though these things, even though the Lord's potencies and his paraphernalia and his manifestations are completely pure, they are pure Sandini Samvit and Ladini Shakti, we don't see it. We just see this as everything else. This is our disease. This is why when early on in the movement, what was his name? One of his prominent disciples, very first disciples in New York. Come on. He was in charge of the New Vrindavan project in West Virginia. Anyway, he said, Prabhupada, you're always speaking about these Mayavadis. Why are you always talking about these Mayavadis? Who are these Mayavadis? He said, you are the Mayavadis. Because we are, but we don't see it. So, what happens? Why is it like this? You see, human psychology works like this, that if you value something, then you respect it. Whatever you value, that is what you respect. If you don't value it, you don't pay respect to it. You don't care. It's just something. It's like the doorknob. You don't care about the doorknobs. Yeah, it has a function, but you never think about it. It never stays in your mind. Like, wow, what a beautiful, wonderful door handle. Like, should we worship? No, we don't. No, we don't pay any attention to it. Because we don't see any value in it. Of course, if you remove it, then you will see the value of it. Because then you can't open the door. But because we always think, because we know it will always be there, we don't think about it. So, therefore, we value Lord Krishna's manifestations when we leave the temple, because then it's not there anymore. Then we start to see what it's doing for us. But when it's close to us, we forget it. Same thing with the door handle. When it's gone, then you will miss it. But this is not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to appreciate it all the time, every time, anywhere we are. That's how it's supposed to be. So we must keep reminding ourselves all the time. When we go to sleep, we leave ISKCON, we leave the temple. When we wake up, we enter again. When we wake up, it should be like we moved, like we joined the very first day. The Radhana Swami explained it like this: you should rejoin the movement. Because when you enter, then you're very enthusiastic. Everything is new and fresh. Oh, you just gotta do this the rest of your life, yeah. But we have lost it. So we need to renew it. We can wake up and join in the movement like it was the first day. Okay, so I need to stop here. Thank you so much for paying attention. So yes, we respect what we value, so we must start to see the value in Lord Krishna's manifestations, in the deities, in the holy name, in the kirtan, in the books, in the devotees. He is there, fully manifest. And if we find proper value in this and respect these different manifestations of Him, then He will manifest in our hearts. He will sit down there. And He will be very happy to be there, because He sees that you value Him. Of course, He will value you also. So, yes, are there any questions or comments?
You spoke about the fact that we should quickly come out of first stage of devotional service, Kanishta to Madhyam Adhikari.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous position in this first stage, Kanishta Adhikari.
Yeah.
So how is possible? We see some in the movement, they will stay all their life in this Kanishta Adhikari stage, and they will never try to come to Madhyam Adhikari. So what is the situation?
I think Prabhupada showed a perfect example of how we look at his prayers. He says, "My dear Lord, I cannot save them. You, my Lord, you please save them. I cannot do that." And this is how it is. That ultimately it's always the Lord is purifying them from within. But if they can't take the lesson, then they just have to go on like that until they might finally wake up. Then that may or may not happen. You see some people chanting Hare Krishna for 20 years and then just drop the bead bag and say it doesn't work. And we can ask, what have you been doing for 20 years? Nothing has happened. But you see, people are just stubborn. Stubborn means refuse to change. Just refuse to change. And I don't know, maybe it's just that some devotees just have this idea that everything should, if I just chant, then things will happen automatically. I don't have to make any endeavor. But this is not how it is. If you have to make a conscious endeavor for change if you want something to change. The mind and intelligence are fixed on certain habits which you do, not only how you do things physically, but also ideas in the mind. So, as Prabhupada says, first you must first become conscious before you become Krishna conscious. As he said, and conscious means that you know what is going on inside your head. That you are conscious of how you're speaking and what you're speaking, how you're acting. And when you decide to be conscious, you are awake of what is going on, and whatever you have learned, you apply that. How to speak, how to act, how to think, you apply that instead of going automatically for what you're programmed to act upon. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you can be completely spaced out and you are out of program.
Yeah, you can chant and don't think.
Exactly,
after
yes,
chanting.
exactly.
You can come to the base and think of your day in the street, in walk, or you can do everything like a ritualistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that is what I mean. Yeah.
And if it's like this, it's not conscious. So you cannot come from this stage to Krishna consciousness.
No.
This is what Prabhupada said. First become conscious, do all this activity consciously, with conscience, and after Krishna will help you to become Krishna conscious.
Yes, exactly. Because you can come to Mangalarti and just sing, but it doesn't mean that you are there in the kirtan.
Yeah.
It can mean that you're somewhere else. You're thinking about your problems. You're thinking about your family members. You're thinking about what you will do later, and then you're not in the kirtan. You're not. And same thing with the chanting. You can be spacing out there also. Very easy, as we know.
Yeah.
It's so easy to space out. It's incredibly easy. You cannot chant passively. You cannot even read passively. You cannot. You can see the words, but you can also be spaced out. And so when you're Kanishta, you can do these things mechanically for so many years. So it's only when someone can wake you up. If someone is saying senior spacing out, then a senior devotee can wake you up. And Kanishtas hate that. What?
If you accept it.
Yeah, Kanishtas hate that. They hate to be reminded that they're spacing out. They hate to be reminded that they're doing things wrong. They hate to be reminded that that they need to change. They hate that. Why? Because it hurts their pride.
That's why Shukadeva Goswami said that they are stone-hearted.
They
are stone-hearted. They are
yes,
hearted like
exactly.
A stone. Because he said, Shukadeva Goswami, those who chant for many years, but the tears, the hairs don't stand them, and when this comes, the earth not change, it means they are stone-hearted.
Yeah.
So we are all a little bit stone-hearted.
Yes, we are. The stone is still
but there is more or less.
Yeah, of course. With the process, if you're making a sincere endeavor, even if it is very small, if it is sincere, you're doing progress.
Yeah.
And that's the most amazing thing. If you try sincerely for 10 seconds, that will have effect.
Yeah. better to chant for 10 seconds consciously than a million of life without conscious.
Yes, yes. It will have effect.
Yeah.
If you are swinging the chamara sincerely for 10 seconds, that will make an effect. If you are standing in the kirtan, if you know they're stone-hearted, but you will try sincerely. This time I will try sincerely to serve the devotees, listening to what they really want and try to fulfill that desire to the best of my capacity. Even if you fail so hard, you will still make a progress because you tried, you know. So even if it is you make an endeavor and you fail so miserably, you will win because it was sincere. And then the next time you try, it will be better. And next time it will be even better. And next time it will be so good. You actually do a proper service, you see. So you just try and fail, and you will get there. It just works. So every day you can wake up and you can improve something. Every day can be a new, fresh day, like different from yesterday and so on. It is never the same day. But we think like that because we get used to what we have. We stop appreciating the door handle. Like that. So yeah, we must become conscious of what we're doing. So do not only read Prabhupada's books, study them. Get deep in there. Read, ask proper questions. Do you understand this or not? Do you need clarification? I need clarification on this. Okay, go to the advanced devotee. Please help me explain this to me. Let me hear this from you, who have realized this. Then it will manifest. Become sincere. Ask proper questions. Become hungry.
This creates very good relation to devotee when there is.
It does, yes.
Otherwise, it's same. Otherwise, it's a relation between stones, and stones together, they're just eating together.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you can start to speak and ask questions and study together, it becomes so soft. It's like a stone, Krishna can melt it, and he can put his footprint on it. But if there is not Krishna appearing in these stones, they will just break the stones. And this is what happens so often in Krishna consciousness. We stay like stones, we are beating together, and at the end it breaks.
Yeah.
So if we just can put the lotus feet of the Lord on earth, it will melt and it will be so nice. Krishna consciousness.
Well, and Krishna says in the 10th chapter that these great souls, they speak about me. They speak with enthusiasm about me. It's one of the chapter shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita, which I always forget. I should be cursed. Yes.
Tanu, this one?
No.
Or Bhagavad Gita or Shrimad?
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita. One of the chapter shlokas. The second one.
When you speak together,
Yes.
Machita,
Machita Matgata Prana. But
I don't remember the.
No.
I remember only the first.
we have to study harder.
Yeah,
We have to study. Very good. Okay, it's past 9. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
Tanu Prabhu ki jai.
Sadhu Sangha ki jai.